to take on debt. We'll get that out of the consumer finance group as well. And then frankly, when you look at the broad financial sector, insurance is a huge portion of financials at large. It's not just banks. I think we tend to focus a lot on banks as an economic indicator, but insurance companies are really the leaders in the financial space in terms of fundamental trends. They've done reasonably well in terms of price trends also. So I want to watch those insurance companies too for signs of potential weakness and or strength.
Gina, it's been a huge week. Every guest that's come on the set this morning has said, wow, what a week. Perhaps not Monday and Tuesday, but after that, we got a complete reset with our expectations of disinflation taking hold, as well as strength, whether it was lower than expected jobless claims or the earnings that we're getting increasingly. How have you reset? Do you think that this has been a sea change kind of week amid the precipice of a downturn in inflation that's set to accelerate?
No single week makes a huge sea change for me. I mean, we have been talking about inflation ad nauseum for the last 2 years as the primary driver of equity prices. So for us, the consequential shift really was in the December-January period where we were getting some really clear evidence that inflation was turning from a headwind for stocks into a tailwind. And that's really just continued en masse over the course of the last several months. What we got this week was a confirmation that inflation is still decelerating significantly more than many people had anticipated. It is relatively contained, and it is very supportive of margin conditions, importantly for the S&P 500. So as much as, we did get confirmation of this week, it wasn't necessarily a big change for us. It was just a continuation of the trend. I'd say the one thing that did potentially change this week was initial claims. We did have a pretty significant deceleration there. And I would watch that for continuation as well going forward.
Hey, Gina, your claim, which goes back to the last time the Red Sox won 10 games in a row. The famous Gina Martin Adams claim is you're in the market. In the phrase of New England, you're a player. You're always in the market participating. What is the behavioral process of bears now who've been wrong on this bull market run? How do they work out, publish, rationalize over the next, say, 4 weeks?
Yeah, almost to a person, the bear case is made based on higher interest rates ultimately constraining economic growth. And this goes back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier, is there is this underlying tension with respect to the traditional relationship between interest rates and the economy. And there is an underlying assumption in the bear case that ultimately at some point in the future, we don't know when, maybe it's the second half of this year, maybe it's 2024, maybe it's 2025, but there is this underlying uncertainty with respect to how will the economy contend with much higher interest rates. That is the bear case right now. And that feeds through to several things, such as, interest rates are too high for stocks, valuations are too high. You hear all of these narratives, but really it is about interest rates. Now, the trouble with this case is, so far, these higher interest rates have only slowed economic growth. And frankly, inflation has been the bigger story that has driven the equity market. So maybe ultimately we do have some sort of bearish correction, but until the data tells you that it truly is coming, you have to participate in the equity market. And that is our core belief, is follow the data, follow the models. What are they telling you right now?
Good morning.
Very constructive, really since the end of 2020.
Good morning. Are we live? Are we live? Muy buenos días para todos. Bienvenidos. Bienvenidos a otro live de sesión de bolsa. Grupo es temprano, 8:55 de la mañana. Bienvenidos. Estamos ya en vivo. Más temprano que de costumbre, grupo, porque se dio lo que estábamos esperando nuevamente. Cierre, profe, sí. Se dio lo que estábamos esperando. Yo les dije, estamos extendidos y mañana ustedes vieron lo que pasó con los bancos. Ayer yo les mostré cómo le bajaron la barra a todos. La facturación de Citi a la baja 44% año a año. 44% año a año la baja la facturación de Citi. Increíble. Y bueno, nada, la reacción fue positiva. El reporte de United Health Grupo, tremendo. Uno se da cuenta de cuáles son los sectores que Por eso uno los llama sectores defensivos, ¿se dan cuenta, grupo? Por esto se llaman sectores defensivos. La facturación de Nvidia, voy a pasar aquí al Discord. Por eso se los digo. Fíjense, quería hacerles hincapié en ese detalle, grupo. Voy a pasar por acá al Transmission Live. Muy buenos días para todos. Fíjense. Uy, no me digas eso. No. Oh, boy. Bueno, grupo, vuelvo, voy y vengo. No sabía que estábamos abiertos para todo el mundo. Cierro, voy y vengo. Estén pendientes de Patreon. Voy y vengo. Gracias, Mili. Voy y vengo.